do want to mention this because this is just breaking. So Kanye West took out a ad in the Wall Street Journal, and this is a apology. So it starts, "To those I've hurt. 25 years ago, I was in a car accident that broke my jaw and caused injury to my right frontal lobe of my brain. At the time, the focus was on the visible damage, the fracture, the swelling, and the immediate physical trauma. The deeper injury, the one inside my skull, went unnoticed." So then he goes into talking about his bipolar disorder. And he talks about, being manic and being in denial. And he says, "You don't think you're sick. You think everyone else is overreacting. You feel like you're seeing the world more clearly than them, when in reality, you're losing your grip." He says he lost touch with reality. Things got worse the longer he ignored the problem.
Now, the first question is, was he having any mental issues? Yeah, probably. In fact, I would challenge that. There's no doubt that probably a traumatic brain injury has caused you to have some challenges, but there is also no doubt that those who pile into the entertainment industry probably already have mental issues, right? That's why they're seeking attention from strangers, seeking love from strangers. So it's not at all a surprise. Now, do I believe that his commentary on the I don't even want to name these people, they're so dangerous, but his commentary on the you-know-who's, do I think that came from a brain injury? Hell nah, that probably came from his brain working correctly.
He did things he deeply regrets. So this is when he kind of goes into the apologies. He says, "Some of the people I love the most, I treated the worst. You endure fear, confusion, and humiliation. In a fractured state, I gravitated toward the most destructive symbol I could find, the swastika, and even sold t-shirts bearing it. One of the difficult aspects of having bipolar disorder is that you disconnect in moments." He says he regrets deeply.
Now, one thing I'd be curious about this bipolar stuff is, how dangerous is this person to the society? Just in general, when we talk about mental health ailments, how dangerous is this person to the society? And very much so, I'm an advocate of finding permanent solutions for those that are actually mentally ill, because real serious mental ailments cannot be healed. And all of the evidence says that. I even had a video on my IG some time ago where a litany of therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists were interviewed. And the first question was, "Have you ever cured someone?" And consistently, they're like, no. So if we know that someone has a mental ailment that is going to cause them to be manic at a serious level and by dangerous to other persons on earth, then to be a more permanent solution, and no putting them in prison or a loony bin and paying for them to exist is not the solution. That's even humane for those paying or for the person receiving that care. Now, do I think Kanye's in that category? No, I don't believe he's in that category. I think that this is a part of a scripted letter to recant his earlier statements. And I don't think that many people view this as authentic, but I think we'll eventually see Myron writing the same kind of letter. Nick Fuentes has already started to back down. I think we'll eventually see him back down as well. These people are money driven. These people are not revolutionaries. These people always already into the game, for their own self-interest. And when they realize that their self-interest is going to be crashed, I mean, at a level, it's profitable to go against the machine, but eventually the machine's going to catch up with these little rascals, and then it'll become less profitable to go against the machine. And in fact, it'll become just the opposite. You'll become invisible, nameless, and moneyless. And at that point, they will recant, and they'll find another way to do it. Maybe they'll go the mental health route, but I doubt it.
His actions, and he's mortified by them in the state that he was in, and he's committed to accountability.
I don't know. It seems like he kind of stuck with that perspective consistently over time, and that reason I would tend to think that he was expressing his authentic self and his authentic thoughts. I'm no expert on bipolar. Unfortunately, I've known a number of folks who have this ailment, and you go in and out of episodes in between manic states and euphoric states. And, there's a swaying back and forth, whereas in my observation, and you can understand, he's stayed fairly consistent with the assertion that a particular group is trying to control him. It's actually funny how this video is not being pushed out.
treatment and meaningful change. It does not excuse what he did, he says. I am not a Nazi or anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. Now to the black community, Kanye West says, to the black community, which held me down through all of the highs and lows in the darkest of times, the black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am. I am sorry that I have let you down. I love us. He talks about how in early 2025, he fell into a 4-month-long manic episode of psychotic.
Manic episodes in bipolar disorder typically last from a few days to several weeks or even months if untreated. Well, that's very serious now, isn't it? Now, the other weird thing to me is with his manic episode, the question is, why was his mania just solely focused on this one particular target? I'd be curious, like, was it mania? Why didn't the mania like attack the whites or attack the blacks or attack the immigrants? Was the mania solely focused on this one group? In other words, I'm saying I don't believe the sincerity of this apology. I think he's saying this to stay alive and relevant so that the controllers and handlers don't do away with him.
Paranoid and impulsive behavior that destroyed his whole life. And he says that at some points he didn't even want to be here anymore. He said he hit rock bottom a few months ago, and his wife was the person who encouraged him to finally go get help. He also talks about, that he's not asking for sympathy or a free pass. He doesn't aspire to earn people's forgiveness, but he's writing.
People's forgiveness? Well, what people's forgiveness do you need? Black people never had an issue with you. Black people are so foolish to stick by anyone. I'm not saying Ye was a bad person to stick by, but they'll stick by anyone. And, all of our it's the Tyler Perrys and so on. And whites, you didn't say anything about. Immigrants, you didn't say anything about. So it's really just one group. You're saying people, but it's just one group.
This today to simply act for patience and understanding as he finds his love or he finds his way. And then he ends it with love, yay.
I haven't read the letter yet. I just heard it when you said it just now. But you know why I feel like this is real? Because we haven't seen Kanye in a long time.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's been...
Charlemagne, as we know, he's a black homosexual who promotes that very strongly. You often hear him talking about mental health and LGBTQ. He is the best example of what the worst thing is, which is a liberal white woman. He represents nothing at all that even hints at the souls of black folks or the values of the foundation of Black American. He also got some like skin lightening procedure because he had a birthmark on his face. This guy's a phony, effeminate kind of male. I have absolutely no respect for him. There was one time he was caught outside of his studio and punched up a little bit. And you know what? Maybe that was good.
I feel like he's been doing the work on himself, and that's why we haven't seen him. And I pray he continues to do the work. And I want to see him get mentally and emotionally healthy. I want to see him get healed.
And then you also reported last week that him and Kim are in a better place with co-parenting.
Yes.
So I think that's...
Co-parenting, again, these fake terms. And the more you have these fake terms and you accept the concept of broken families as normalcy, the more of them you will get. There's no such thing as co-parenting. There is a such thing, however, as broken families. There further is a such thing as a slore. And Kim is a slore of slores. In fact, she's the leader of the slores. She's the slorina.
That's amazing.
So hopefully he is getting
But even
help.
when I heard that last week, I thought to myself, I said, oh, if he's in a better place with Kim, with co-parenting, he must really be doing the work on himself. Because she was keeping the babies away.
Yeah, she was just trying to be
So
protective as a mom, but...
right where he needed to be.
Now imagine when a mother, and this is very common, you guys hear this all the time, the female in her lunacy hides away the child from the male. Instead of calling that what it is, which is wrong, they say she's trying to protect the kids from their father. He has no history of violence, no criminal record along those lines. So we don't know what you're talking about. Moreover, you hear him talking using white liberal woman language. He's doing the work. We need spaces and we need safe spaces. It's like all of this skittle gus language.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's hope that he's getting help and that is he's turning things around. So salute to that brother.
Yeah, so that's published now on the Wall Street Journal. So
Okay.
Oh, now you got to go kiss the wall, Kanye. You know how?
There you go. That's what it's about. Going to kiss the wall, exactly. Someone they're new to this school. Will there be an orientation on the 1st? School is primarily circled around the course, so people sign up on school courses. It looks like you're looking for the member. The membership is at peacetothesaints.com. And we've automated the new member orientation. So basically, when you sign up, you'll go through the new member orientation. Then we'll approve your membership. Then you're officially a part of this thing of ours, and you'll be able to connect with your section. Thank you for that, and we welcome you.
That's the next thing. That's just how it's going to go.
Seems like no one else wants to say anything. He said that, and everyone was quiet.
I'm telling you that right now.
They're just chuckling, and that's it. Fantastic. Be true. Anyways, may I acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work. If there are any, there is one. Shout out to Cameron supporting the work, came in using the Stripe link. I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, and for those of you who are members, keep an eye open. We got a couple member exclusives that'll be going up shortly, namely the one last night, which was a case study in general and in particularly about, actually it gave a couple case studies. And it was broad about how women may use their bodies to control you, manipulate you, particularly into relationships. Talked about a lot of, truths on female nature and how to navigate. This is one very useful to both males and females. That'll be an exclusive. Keep an eye out. Ladies and saints, it's been a pleasure to have this time to fellowship with you all. Until next time, peace to the saints.